Have you ever heard that if you suffer from diabetes, you must steer clear of sweet fruits completely? Perhaps you've lingered in the produce section gazing at a ripe apple or a succulent cluster of grapes and considered, I shouldn't take the chance. This has been a long-standing message echoed for years. Sugar is portrayed as the adversary, and sweet fruits seem overly risky. But what if this advice is not entirely accurate? What if certain common, budget-friendly, and inherently sweet fruits, the very ones you overlook weekly, are truly benefiting your health instead of harming it? Emerging research is starting to question entrenched ideas regarding fruit and diabetes, revealing that various sweet fruits can in fact assist in reducing blood sugar, enhancing digestion, and easing inflammation if consumed appropriately. And numerous physicians nationwide are already adjusting their recommendations. In this video today, I'll reveal 5 remarkably sweet, readily available fruits that have aided seniors in feeling more vital, less swollen, and more masterful over their blood sugar levels. You'll discover why these fruits are effective, how to consume them sensibly, and what minor adjustment might help you feel improved this week. Because nobody, particularly during their later years, should sense a lack of something as basic and delightful as fruit. Before we proceed, if you have not subscribed, I suggest pressing that button and activating the bell to ensure you catch every health insight tailored for you. If this video pleases you, enter 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, enter 0 to inform me how to improve content for you. 1. Strawberries. Strawberries. Sweet yet clever. A strawberry has a way of evoking fond recollections. Afternoons in summer, fresh servings at family events, or a modest plate tenderly made by a departed spouse. That well-known red fruit is more than tasty. It possesses subtle strength, particularly for elderly individuals dealing with diabetes. For a long time, many of us received advice to shun sweet fruits such as strawberries. We got caution that the sugar could elevate our glucose. That caution was preferable to regret. But now, both science and personal stories are depicting a vastly altered image. Strawberries might taste sweet, but they are also remarkably intelligent. Under that succulent exterior resides a trove of health advantages that align seamlessly with the maturing body. Abundant in anthocyanins, the innate pigments providing their striking red hue, strawberries aid in delaying the uptake of sugars into the blood. This allows you to relish their sweetness, minus the ups and downs of blood sugar surges and drops. And their benefits continue. These tiny fruits brim with antioxidants combating inflammation, an issue so prevalent among us as we grow older, be it rigid knees upon rising, tender fingers post-gardening, or that persistent discomfort lodging in your lower back. Inflammation frequently bears the blame. Strawberries discreetly get to task bolstering your joints, your heart, and even your recollection. Their fiber is mild but potent. A single cup supplies sufficient to maintain regular digestion without taxing the gut. And we shouldn't overlook the psychological fulfillment from consuming something inherently sweet, invigorating, and free of remorse. Numerous seniors I converse with report feeling lighter, more vigorous, and more commanding when incorporating strawberries into their weekly habits, particularly as a mid-afternoon treat alongside some almonds or a bit of plain Greek yogurt. It's not solely about the fruit alone. It's about what it signifies. A minor gesture of self-care, an instant of delight that doesn't compromise your well-being. Selecting strawberries means opting to rely on your body once more, to provide it the sustenance it requires while respecting the foods you cherish. So, next time you access your fridge and spot that container of lush red berries, don't pause. Enjoy them gradually. Allow them to reaffirm that health isn't centered on limitations. It's about recognizing what suits you and accepting it. And right when you believe a fruit couldn't conceivably be more sugary or astonishing, hold on until you learn what one of the most misconstrued fruits in the produce section, grapes, can achieve for your blood sugar. You'll never view them identically again. If you're continuing to watch and deeming these revelations useful, kindly comment number 1 below to signal you're following along. Now, let's advance to point number 2. 2. Grapes. Small yet mighty. Grapes. Grapes have enduringly symbolized sweetness, plenty, and even festivity. For numerous elderly adults, they revive memories of harvest seasons, church gatherings, or enjoying a serene snack with grandkids. But when managing diabetes or attempting to regulate your blood sugar, you might have regarded grapes with doubt, pondering if their saccharine flavor rendered them prohibited. Astonishingly, These small fruits are much more potent than they appear, and their influence on your health could transform how you perceive them. Although diminutive, grapes abound in resveratrol, a natural botanical substance located primarily in their peel. Resveratrol has undergone thorough examination for its impact on insulin sensitivity, enabling your body to handle sugar more effectively. For individuals over 60, when insulin resistance frequently emerges gradually, that's significant. Envision savoring a sweet fruit that doesn't undermine your health, but rather bolsters it subtly from within. Grapes also teem with antioxidants that diminish inflammation and oxidative stress, two root causes not only of diabetes issues, but also of joint discomfort, tiredness, and even cognitive concerns. Many elders who previously evaded grapes now regard them as a mild supporter, delivering hydration, contentment, and a feeling of solace in each morsel. When savored leisurely and moderately, particularly combined with a protein source like a modest cheese portion or a fistful of walnuts, grapes can in fact steady blood sugar instead of causing it to surge. And let's address the sentimental influence of a known fruit. Grapes are simple to grab, easy to ready, and pleasurable across seasons. A chilled bowl of grapes on a hot day seems like an indulgence. Cut into a spinach salad or accompanied by cottage cheese, they transform a regular meal into something revitalizing. Even frozen, they form an ideal small dessert that curbs sugar urges without regret. The reality is, grapes affirm that health isn't invariably in a container or tablet. At times, it's discovered in nature's tiniest offerings, when we learn to view them not as band, but as companions. Opting for grapes is selecting something sweet that also delivers equilibrium, sustenance, and happiness. But as formidable as grapes prove, they're not the sole ordinary fruit with concealed potency. Next up is a fruit so routine we frequently disregard it. However, it's been silently aiding digestion, heart wellness, and consistent blood sugar for ages. It's crunchy, it's traditional, and it could well be the most dependable fruit in your kitchen. Let's discuss apples. Apples. 3 apples, the classic daily remedy. An apple possesses something eternal. It doesn't seek notice with vivid shades or foreign roots, but it patiently sits in your fruit dish. Known, dependable, and as revealed, extraordinarily astute. For eras, we've been told an apple daily wards off the doctor. And though that saying might seem antiquated, its validity is more pertinent than ever, particularly for seniors maneuvering the intricacies of blood sugar, inflammation, and cardiac health. Initially, an apple might appear excessively sweet, especially for a diabetic individual, but nature crafted it thoughtfully. Under that crisp exterior lies an ample supply of soluble fiber, notably pectin, which decelerates sugar's entry into your bloodstream. That implies when you partake in an apple, you're not triggering a swift glucose increase. You're feeding your body in a calculated and harmonious manner. But apples provide beyond blood sugar aid. They facilitate digestion, alleviate constipation, and even bolster cholesterol. The soft fiber acts like a sweeper, clearing through your digestive tract, assisting matters to progress naturally and comfortably. For elders, such understated help is priceless. No severe chemicals, no digestive distress, just nature's calming flow performing optimally. There's likewise something profoundly gratifying about crunching into a fresh apple. The snap is anchoring. The taste is recognizable. And for many, it revives thoughts of fall harvests, homemade pies, or school lunches from distant past. Apples aren't merely sustenance. They link to our history, to uncomplicated eras, and to customs that retain significance. And don't disregard their adaptability. An apple cut with cinnamon turns into a naturally sugary delight. Combine it with almond butter or a sharp cheese slice, and you possess a equilibrated snack that gratifies both your palate and your blood sugar. Even when baked or stewed, apples preserve their virtues, becoming warm comfort fare on a chilly day. Incorporating apples into your routine is a modest display of self-esteem. It's a cue that you merit nourishment that collaborates with your body, not opposes it. And it demonstrates that handling diabetes doesn't necessitate abandoning beloved foods. Occasionally, it simply involves perceiving them anew. But while apples deliver reliable backing, there's another fruit forthcoming that could astonish you further. A tropical staple that's been unjustly critiqued for its sweetness, yet conceals extraordinary capability when matched properly. It's golden, succulent, and might just alter your perspective on diabetic-compatible diets. Let's examine mango more closely. If you're still viewing and considering these revelations worthwhile, please comment number 1 below to indicate your presence. Now, let's proceed with point number 4. 4. Mango. A tropical surprise that astonishes. Mango. Merely uttering the name can stimulate salivation. It conjures warmth, sunlight, and a sort of extravagance that seems nearly too sugary to be beneficial. For many elders coping with diabetes, mango is a fruit that appears restricted. It's frequently rejected as overly saccharine, a culpable enjoyment best sidestepped. But what if that notoriety isn't entirely just? What if mango, in its full, golden, succulent splendor, possesses more restoration than detriment? Fundamentally, mango is a fruit of harmony. Indeed, it's sweet, but it's also abundant in fiber, which assists in retarding sugar's discharge into your bloodstream. That signifies when consumed moderately, particularly with skin intact or alongside protein, mango doesn't inundate your system. It sustains it, gradually, consistently. It's a fruit that collaborates with your body, not counters it. But mango's true enchantment extends past blood sugar. It's brimming with vitamin C, which bolsters immune wellness, vital as we mature, and vitamin A, crucial for preserving healthy eyesight and skin. Mango likewise holds distinctive compounds that support fat breakdown and combat oxidative stress, influencing everything from persistent inflammation to cognitive deterioration. For seniors confronting exhaustion, joint unease, or merely aging's gradual toll, mango can serve as a modest yet formidable partner. There's something sentimentally elevating about consuming mango. It doesn't merely taste pleasant, it feels like delight. It recalls vacation times, tropical winds, or maybe youthful summers where fruit was gathered directly from trees. That sentimental bond is part of the restoration as well, because healthful eating shouldn't resemble penalty. It should resemble thriving. Experiment with slicing a modest mango piece and combining it with a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt or some almonds. The protein aids in balancing the fruit's innate sugars, and the mix feels like an indulgence minus the remorse. Or incorporate mango chunks into a green salad with grilled chicken for a vibrant, invigorating lunch that aids both your blood sugar and your morale. Selecting mango means opting to accept sweetness sans apprehension. It's a cue that health can be lively, tasty, and profoundly fulfilling. You needn't relinquish joy to thrive. You merely need to grasp it prudently. And right when you assume the roster of beneficial fruits couldn't become more astonishing, there's one final staple that retains potent offerings. It's vivid, invigorating, and frequently disregarded for its genuine capacity. Let's focus on the reliable orange, a long-standing companion with fresh insights for enhanced living. 5. Oranges, not solely for vitamin C. Oranges. An orange has something reassuring. Perhaps it's how the rind splits with a gentle pop, unleashing that vivid, known citrus aroma. Maybe it's how each part separates softly in your grasp, providing precisely the appropriate measure of juice, taste, and sustenance. For numerous seniors, oranges are a perpetual associate, discovered in lunch containers, winter hampers, and morning customs. But for those handling diabetes, this cherished fruit is often approached with caution. That zesty sweetness, once emblematic of wellness, is now viewed by some as a sugar hazard. But is it? When you uncover the layers, both actually and metaphorically, you realize that oranges rank among the most misinterpreted fruits in diabetic discussions. Whole oranges, not their juice, deliver a formidable blend of fiber, moisture, and gradual release natural sugars. The fiber, particularly in the film between segments, aids in slowing glucose uptake, averting abrupt surges in blood sugar. It's a consistent, equilibrated sweetness, something our bodies value increasingly as we age. But oranges provide far more than sweetness. They're laden with vitamin C, an essential nutrient for immune backing, which grows more critical as our systems become more susceptible over time. They also include potassium, which assists in controlling blood pressure and diminishing fluid retention. Two typical worries for elders managing cardiac health with diabetes. The flavonoids in oranges have demonstrated reductions in inflammation, enhancements in circulation, and even aids for mental wellness. All from a fruit often regarded as secondary, and we shouldn't neglect the sentimental solace from an orange. It's transportable, simple to consume, and inherently gratifying. Consuming an orange is a minor rite of self-attention. You require no knife, no mixer, no elaborate instructions. Just your hands, your senses, and some serene instance. At times, that straightforwardness is precisely what restoration appears as. Attempt combining a small orange with a boiled egg or some almonds for a blood sugar-compatible snack. Or add segments to a spinach salad with olive oil and sunflower seeds scattered. You'll be amazed how such an uncomplicated fruit can enhance your meal and your disposition. Even merely peeling an orange and inhaling that known scent can soothe your nerves and elevate your spirit. Selecting oranges concerns more than nourishment. It's about reclaiming foods that deliver comfort and vigor. It's about believing that your body still understands how to handle nature's creations. When incorporated into a balanced regimen, oranges affirm that health needn't signify deprivation. It can signify rediscovering what was perpetually beneficial for us. But as uplifting as discovering which fruits bolster your blood sugar is, there's another aspect to consider, one we mustn't overlook. Because fruits aren't all equivalent, and some might in fact complicate your body's recovery. So which fruits ought you cease consuming? You could be astonished. Let's examine closely. So which fruits should you stop eating? 6. So which fruits should you cease eating? It's an inquiry many of us hesitate to voice, particularly after learning that fruit is innate, wholesome, and invariably beneficial. But the reality, especially for those maneuvering diabetes in later life, is subtler. Not each fruit aids your body as it ought, and some, regardless of their innocuous appearance, can subtly undermine your advancements. It doesn't imply living in dread of food, but we must stay educated, vigilant, and ready to heed our bodies. The fruits prone to causing greatest issues aren't always the sugariest. They're the most refined or deprived of their innate equilibrium. Fruit juices, even marked as fully natural, eliminate the fiber slowing sugar uptake. Remaining is a dense fructose load that overwhelms your bloodstream. That dawn glass of orange juice might seem revitalizing, but it resembles soda in its blood sugar impact. Dried fruits can likewise mislead. A fistful of raisins or dried mango might appear minor, but it might hold several fresh fruits' sugar. Lacking water or fiber to moderate, for elders with sluggish digestion and delicate insulin reactions, that can overwhelm. Even familiar items like dried dates or figs, though nutrient-dense, can turn into concealed catalysts for blood sugar surges if overconsumed. And then overly mature fruits exist. Bananas showing brown marks, for instance. As fruit matures, starches transform into basic sugars. Thus, a greenish banana is milder on your system than a mushy, sweet variant. It's not about eternally avoiding these items. It's about timing, servings, and combining with proteins or fats to aid safe processing by your body. Some tropical fruits, like pineapple and watermelon, can prove challenging too. Fresh and in modest portions, they can integrate into a harmonious plan. But sizable helpings on empty stomachs, that's where issues arise. Context is key. Your body requires beyond sweetness. It requires equilibrium. So the fruits to evade aren't morally wrong. They're simply misaligned with your current bodily needs. As your body evolves with age, it seeks patience, comprehension, and mild assistance, opting for fruits that moisten, alleviate inflammation, and steady your vitality. That's not constraint. That's insight. And insight is precisely what leads to our concluding message. Because while we've delved into healing fruits and harming ones, something even mightier awaits you. A truth concerning food, aging, and everyday existence that might alter your self-care henceforth. Let's unify it all. Your body deserves better, starting today. Your body merits superior, commencing today. As we age, we start recognizing that health transcends mere regulations, constraints, or ideal figures on charts. It's about our morning awakening sensation. It's about joint ease, mental sharpness, step stability, and the serene assurance we're optimizing what we possess. Through this exploration, fruit has frequently been villainized, particularly for diabetes managers. But what we've discovered collectively is that sweetness isn't universally detrimental. Indeed, nature's sweetness, when preserved with fiber, moisture, and nutrients, can offer profound sustenance and subtle restoration. The fruits we've examined, strawberries, grapes, apples, mangoes, oranges, are beyond mere snacks. They're cues that food isn't solely fuel. It's solace, reminiscence, heritage, linkage. When consumed mindfully and aligned with our body's insight, these fruits grant something formidable: the capacity to savor life's minor delights sans fear. And that counts, especially later in life when joy ought to increase, not decrease. You needn't revamp your existence or forsake all you adore. You merely need to recommence softly. Perhaps that initiates with a fresh melon bowl in afternoons, or a crisp apple at breakfast. Maybe it involves chilling grapes in the fridge to bypass soda, or freezing plum slices for lengthy summer days when you desire something sweet and chilled minus guilt. Minor selections like these might not appear groundbreaking, but they are. Because each instance you pick something honoring your taste and welfare, you're picking optimism. You're electing to heed your body compassionately, not judgmentally. And that's among the mightiest actions anyone can take at any stage. So as you advance, let this serve as your mild cue. You aren't too aged, too delayed, or too distant to alter. Your forthcoming chapter remains in composition, and you decide its feel, its flavor, and its support for the life you desire. Let food become your ally, not confinement. Let fruit become your companion anew. And if this message resonated or evoked your personal tale, don't retain it. Share your insight. Uplift another, because carried wisdom gains value when shared. Here's to sugary selections, robust bodies, and basic delights. You merit them all. Now, are you prepared to fortify the next step? Let's discuss crafting a simple, feasible daily fruit strategy that maintains stable blood sugar and elevated energy. It's easier than imagined, and it begins with one minor shift. These teachings aim to motivate full, genuine living. Now, I'd appreciate hearing from you. Pause to contemplate and share one lesson learned that you'll implement personally. Let's bolster one another on this path to adopting these truths. If this video delighted you, please comment with 1. If not, comment 0 freely. Your input is meaningful to us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for additional similar content. Thanks for viewing, and here's to living on your terms.